Let's talk about snacking. Is your snacking habit sabotaging your weight loss or fat loss goals? Or could it actually be the secret weapon you need? From Wits and Weights, I'm Philip Pape. Happy Friday, and this is Nutrition Science Daily, bringing you the latest in nutrition, fat loss, and health science, all in under 5 minutes. Today, we're getting into the role of snacking in weight management, because snacking often gets a bad rap, but is it detrimental? Or can it be strategically used to your advantage? I love stuff like this. Before we get into it, I've been talking all week about how this could be the very last week of the podcast unless we get enough reviews and feedback that you love the show. This was an experiment for me that I started late last year. I was only going to go for 4 weeks, but I've actually gone longer because we were getting some positive reviews and followers. And I would hate to end the show, but it's a big time commitment. So if you love it, please give a 5-star rating and review in Apple Podcasts so I can see that people are digging it and I can keep going. All right, let's talk about snacking. Snacking is defined as consuming food between your meals. That's it. It can curb hunger, it can provide energy, and it can supply nutrients. That's called positive reframing. Let's talk about it, as well as its impact on weight loss and fat loss, because that's where the debate comes from and why I wanted to talk about it today. So if we look at the research, we've got some mixed results. First, some studies show that snacking doesn't really aid or hinder weight loss. There's a study in the Journal of the American Dietetic Association found no substantial difference in weight change between individuals who snacked and those who didn't, which I can believe that because we also know, for example, fasting doesn't have any benefit over not fasting for weight management. The second one, other research suggests that strategic snacking can support weight loss by controlling hunger and reducing overeating during meals. A study in the Journal of Nutrition reported that high-protein, high-fiber snacks, and that's an important distinction, led to reduced appetite and subsequent food intake. And then thirdly, on the negative side, some studies associate frequent snacking, especially on energy-dense, nutrient-poor foods, with weight gain. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that snacking on high-sugar, high-fat foods contributed to increased calorie intake and weight gain. Now, notice in what I just said that there is a difference between high-protein, high-fiber snacks and high-sugar, high-fat foods, and I talked about that a couple times this week when we got into ultra-processed foods. And there are some factors that determine whether snacking aids or impedes weight loss related to that. The first one is just what I just said. It's the composition of the food. Snacks rich in protein and fiber are going to promote fullness, satiety. They're going to help you control calorie intake. They might even help you sleep. We talked about that, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. So Greek yogurt with berries, hummus with vegetables, a handful of nuts. Like as far as snacks go, a protein-forward and fiber-forward snack is going to go a long way toward being a great thing in your diet. The second thing is portion size, because if you're having massive snacks that really amount to huge meals, that's going to make a difference in your calorie intake versus mindful, again, high protein, high fiber snacks that are just a modest amount of calories and they help manage intake and hunger. The third thing would be timing, because if you snack between meals, it can prevent overeating later, as well as eating a high-protein breakfast, believe it or not, can prevent eating late in the day, studies have shown. However, if you're just mindlessly snacking while doing something else like watching TV, that is going to lead to unnecessary calorie intake. And then individual factors like your metabolism, how active you are you training, how you respond to appetite, hunger, satiety cues, are going to play a role in how snacking affects your weight, of course. So if you're to take all this information, what do you do with it? I'm going to give you a few simple tips. The first one really is to track your food. My favorite app is MacroFactor. I will include a link in the show notes if I remember to do that. But if you download it from your app store, it's called MacroFactor, and use my code WITSandWeights, all one word, you'll get 2 weeks free to try it out. And MacroFactor is the only app on the entire market that actually calculates your dynamic true metabolism in real time to give you the right calorie and macro targets. It's the only app that does that. So just tracking gives you awareness so that when you snack and you log it, you can see the effect of it. Number 2 is always starting with whole, minimally processed foods, nutrient-dense foods, right? Having those available in your pantry, shopping for fruits and vegetables, and having those, and Greek yogurt and such. Meal planning ahead, incorporating your snacks in advance, pre-logging them, things like that and also planning ahead with your kitchen and your pantry and environment are going to help you avoid reaching for less nutritious options when you're hungry because these other options are there. Listening to your body, this is more of an advanced strategy of eating when you're genuinely hungry. Now, this is difficult because some people have emotional hunger, and that's a whole separate topic. And then finally, staying hydrated is helpful. You probably heard it before. Sometimes thirst is mistaken for hunger. So if you feel like you need a snack, go ahead, have a glass of water, wait 10 minutes, and see if you still really want a snack. So the effect of snacking is not a one-size-fits-all thing, right? If it's done mindfully, if it's done on purpose with nutrient-dense foods to control hunger, to prevent overeating, it's a great tool. But if it's unplanned, if it's frequent, if it's only high-calorie, low-nutrient foods, that's not going to help with your progress. So understanding your body's needs, making informed, intentional choices, that's how you use snacking as a positive tool. All right. My last pitch here. If you're finding value in this podcast, please leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. I need to see enough of these this week to know that we're going to continue the show. Otherwise, this will be the last week. And I will encourage you to go follow my main podcast, Wits and Weights, which is going strong. We have 3 long episodes a week there. It's not a daily, but it's 3 a week, including guest interviews, everything about fat loss, nutrition, muscle building, etc. But please leave a rating and review here for Nutrition Science Daily so that I know you're out there, you want to hear more of the show, and I will keep it going. And by the way, in your review, you can tell me, here's what you like, here's what you'd love to hear more of, and I will definitely make that happen. So as we wrap up this week, go give me that review if you're up for it, if it's deserved, and hit follow so that if we do continue, you won't miss the next episode. I hope you have a great weekend either way, and if I don't see you here, I'll see you on Wits and Weights. And I hope you stay strong and enjoy your next snack.